There was this video recently of this Muslim woman in a hijab saying her husband is the boss. I watched this and I was like, oh my God, I've got to get Emilia's reaction. So she has not seen this video. I'm going to show this video. It's gone viral everywhere. I'm surprised she hasn't seen it. Maybe she has, doesn't recognize it. But in today's video, we're going to look at this video to understand exactly where this woman's coming from when she said the husband's a boss, and whether or not other women should be adopting the same mentality, or is this just feminist? Is she a slave, or is it just completely madness? We're just going to break it down in today's video. Let's get into it. So Emilia's never seen this video, and we're just going to break it down really quickly. All right. You ready to get started?
Alrighty.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
My husband is my boss. My husband is number one. If my husband tells me, hey, sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me you can't go out with your friends today, I'm not going to go out with my friends. If he says, hey, go wash this dish for me, I'm going to go wash the dish for him. I chose this man to be the king of my life, and yes, I agree with everything he says, and I do everything he says. And I did that because I chose this man. I put him in this position of my life, and this is how I honor and take care of and love the man in my life. So I tell women out there, you want a man in your life, you want to be happy, figure out what you would do when you are happy. Because I am happy. My husband does so many great things for me, and I would do that for him. I obey him, I respect him, and I let him be the man that he is. I chose a man that I wanted to follow. I chose someone to lead me, and that's why I will do anything for him. If he tells me jump, I'll jump. If he tells me sit down, I'll sit down. If he tells me go in the room or go up on stage, I will do either or. Anyways, that's a message for everyone out there. Love and cherish the king in your life.
Whoa.
I'm not laughing because I don't agree with her 100% though.
That's why I stay silent. So, what's your thoughts?
Alright. So, I'm not Muslim, so I cannot really...
Is that important though, her being Muslim?
I don't know. That's probably the religious teach or anything. I don't know. But I'm speaking and, comment about what she said based on my point of view. I'm not saying about the belief system or anything like that. This is just me completely. All right, so what I think about what she said is, like for example, it depends on how you raised and everything, but I'm Indonesian, I have a Chinese heritage, and kinda, my mom also acts like her. Even though we're not Muslim, yeah?
Right.
So, when we as a woman try to find a partner or a husband or a boyfriend or anything like that.
A woman or Indonesian Chinese woman?
Indonesian Chinese woman, but also a woman in general.
So just a woman in general. So when a woman tries to find a husband or a partner,
Okay. I'm not saying about feminist woman. I'm saying about woman.
So let me stop just for a second, Dana, because I don't want to lose the train of thought here. 'Cause I understand where you're going with this. When you say feminist woman, what's a feminist woman, in your opinion?
Okay, a feminist woman, in my opinion, is the person or a woman who is, like, I can do everything myself. I am equal to men, and I do not need to cook for a man. I do not need to do this certain, like they, in my opinion, they don't want to be like, oh, a woman should do this, a woman should not do this.
So old school traditional roles of a woman being a home woman, or not just a home woman, as being nurturing, as being quote unquote weaker than a man because she wants to be led. I don't put words into your mouth, right? When you say feminist, just so you understand, when you say feminist, is that, so from what I understand, is a woman that doesn't want to do what? Doesn't want to be led, doesn't want to who thinks she's equal as a man. Like, what does that mean?
A woman who actually think that she can do everything herself and she is equal to men, and she feels that it's okay for a woman to be in her masculine.
Okay, so it's really weird, isn't it? Because a feminist woman who claims femininity always tries to equate to masculinity, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Right.
That's my view. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but this is just what I thought, because I used to be like that. I used to be like in charge of the relationship. I was
So you're a feminist then?
I don't know if I was feminist, but this is what I felt and what I did.
Right.
So I thought that I was equal to men. I didn't want to listen to anybody but myself. And then I do whatever I want. And then I feel that I'm in charge. And also I feel that I'm equal to men. So if men can do that, sorry if I'm like too loud. If men can do that, I can do that too.
Okay, so back to the point then. So you said that she's a feminist. So she's a feminist woman. So what does that mean then? So feminist woman and then traditional woman. So your traditional Chinese heritage background, right? So this woman's Muslim, but I was like, does it matter if she's Muslim or not?
Yeah.
But you're saying it does in context? Because I mean, I don't want to lose it. I just want to stay on a path here, right? So what's your thoughts initially on this? What's your thoughts on this?
Okay.
And then we can go through. Yeah?
Like I said, what her belief is doesn't matter
If she's Muslim or not.
if she's Muslim or not.
Okay.
But I do not know for sure if she's speaking like that based on her religious belief or her culture or just her as a person. I don't know because I do not know her. All right. But from what I'm seeing on that video is I can also relate to that because I'm Indonesian with Chinese heritage and my mom also like that.
Like what?
Like treat my father like that. She
like
listens. She listened to my father. She
Right.
do what he said. She nurture him,
If
and
your
then
dad told your mom to sit, she'll sit.
of course.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
yeah, and then like I said, women in general, but I'm not talking about feminists. Like I said, when we trying to find a husband or a partner, we naturally will want to find someone who is gonna be our protector, gonna be our leader, gonna be our like side by side kind of thing.
Right.
So when we want someone like that, we cannot overrule him or that man.
Okay. So let me understand this because again, I want to just understand my logical man brain, right? So you're talking for women right now,
Yes.
not just Muslim women or a Christian woman or just women.
I don't care about the religion.
So
Yeah.
just so we understand, you're saying if a woman or when a woman, because it's dependent, right? So what is it, if or when?
When
So when a woman wants what?
when a woman wants to find a partner
Okay.
or a husband or
Right.
whatever it is,
Right.
she will want that man to be her protector, her provider.
Is that true though? So again, we're coming off subject of this video, right? And this is something else now. So I want to stay on topic with this video because I've asked you twice now to give me your opinion of this video and you haven't yet, right? Because how women's brain works sometimes, right? Is to understand that it's just the video, okay? Let's come on that to a second, right? So your opinion of this video is what? Then we'll come on to that secondly.
Okay, what my comment on that video is, I can relate and I agree with her.
So you agree with her?
I agree with her.
Okay, so you agree with her. And why do you agree with her?
Why do I agree with her? I do not know how her husband tell her to sit. But if a man, I don't want my man to like, Emilia, sit. I'm not a dog. But if you ask, baby, can you please sit so we can talk? Then I will sit.
Right.
It depends on the context, how her husband talk to her.
So it all depends on how he speaks to her. So
Yes.
it's got nothing to do with whether or not he's his king or not.
Yes.
Because she's saying she'll do whatever he says. He
Yes.
said in what tone.
Yeah.
So how does that matter? How does that translate to a relationship? Because it doesn't say if the relationship's healthy or not. She's only speaking from her point of view that she obeys. Funny because we watched Coming to America yesterday, right? And what was that scene in Coming to America?
Yeah.
What was that scene in Coming to America? That's quite similar to this.
When the what's the name? The king said she will do
Right.
whatever.
And he says to, okay, so bark like a dog. She's like,
Woof, 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 woof.
right.
Yeah.
And then jump on one leg and, right? So is that not the same thing? Because she doesn't really talk about the relationship being a healthy, communicative. Yeah, he provides and so forth, but instead she's happy. But is that just one-sided based upon, I don't know, subjective viewpoints? Or is it a case of there is no basis of it being a loving, happy relationship, but it's more of a command? And that's what I'm trying to understand here. We're going off subjects, I'm trying to bring you back on, right? From the video that you saw, all the information in that video, yes, you agree with her, but why do you agree with her?
All right. Like she said, I chose the man because
Right.
I trust the man.
Right.
But again, I don't want my man, and I'm not gonna be near a man or choose him as my partner if he doesn't know how to communicate in a loving way. Which is, if like she said, if he tell me to sit, it depends how you tell me to sit. Like, is it Emilia, sit, or baby, can you please sit?
So let's
Or-
go back one.
yeah.
Let's go back one. So, because most women choose men not based on these, what you just talked about, right? So, if you're with a man, say you don't want to be with a man that does what? Sorry, so I understand.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful,
Okay.
yeah.
So you don't want to be with a man that's disrespectful. So how does that translate to reality in terms of being with a man? Because I'm different than any guy you've been with, right? So how does that translate to reality? Because that wasn't something that you would have understood or even upheld previously, right? So she's saying from her point of view that she respects and listens to her partner. So at one point, there's a woman, we talk about feminists, at one point there's a woman say, I'm willing to submit and let my man be a king, versus I'm a queen, he's a king, and we're equal. Where's that disconnect? And how does it start, that disconnect? For you as a woman, in yourself, that you say you agree with her, where's that disconnect? Where's that connection and disconnection begin and end? From I'm disconnected, I'm a feminist, I'm doing all, that's what you said you were, right?
Yeah.
You were a feminist, you believe you're equal to a man. So when that disconnect stop, and then when you reconnect to your femininity to say you want to be with a man that gives you what you just said.
Okay, so when I was in my masculine, I say, I don't know, I'm feminist, but I was in my masculine.
You're still in a
Because-
relationship, but you thought you was happy in though, did you not?
I'm sorry?
You were still in a relationship, you thought you were happy in though, weren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
But the happiness was, I'm not gonna say it here, but the happiness was not the real happiness that I thought it was.
It was an illusion.
It was an illusion.
Right.
Because, for example, like when I was in my masculine, I did not realize how tiring it was, because I need to think about everything. I need to make decision. I need to do this. I need to do that, which was naturally not my part,
Right.
But when I met you, you showed me that you are a true leader, a loving leader, that makes me feel comfortable in your presence and make me comfortable to be in my feminine.
So
And when I decided to be in my feminine energy, my life is so much better, because now I can let you lead, that's your natural part and natural role as a man in your masculine. And then I'm just doing my part as a traditional feminine woman.
So let's go back to that then. Let's get that completely understood then, right? When it comes to masculinity and femininity. So we had the disconnect from you being disconnected from this masculine energy and this connection to your feminine energy. So back to what she's saying. She's like, I'll listen to my guy, he's a king, and so forth, so forth. How does a woman even establish that? Because I'm sure you're saying it's nothing to do with her religion, because it's something that you'll be seeing your mom has, and she's Christian, so it's not Muslim or Catholic, right? Your mom would do the same thing, and it's a different. So we're saying it's not religion. So what's the common thing here between, say, your mom, her, and you? What's the common thing that you can see?
A traditional value.
Traditional values. And what is because obviously traditional values is not something most people have nowadays.
Nowadays,
right?
yes.
Because well, no, I take that back. Because what we're seeing, whether or not it's true or not, what I'm seeing, especially in my space, in what I do with men and what I see men go through, is that women want traditional values in men, the protector, the provider, and all this other stuff, but they bring no traditional values to them. So this is where the disconnect I'm seeing happening.
Yeah.
Okay? Whereas they want traditional values, but not traditional women. So, but you're saying there are obviously traditional women out there, okay? So my question to you then is it a case of the men have to be traditional, or the women should be traditional? What's your opinion? In order for guys to, because most men, they don't really care if the woman sits or don't sit. They just want to get some good ass and some pussy. Do you see what I mean? There's another video I want to show you later on, actually, which is heartbreaking. But that's what most men want. They just want a good-looking woman that has a great body, and they don't know how to deal with the dramas, the emotional intelligence element. There's so many things men are messing up with right now, right? And they're struggling because they're with partners and realize, are they good partners? They're not suited for them. So where's the connection for a woman if she's trying to be in her traditional versus a man that's trying to be traditional? But he's like, why should I be traditional? That's what most men saying. Why should I be traditional if I'm not getting a traditional woman? I'm not getting a virgin. I'm not getting a woman that wants to cook for me. I'm not getting a woman that wants to serve me. I'm not getting a woman that wants to please me. She wants to battle me all the time with my masculinity. So men are suffering because they're too weak to understand how to handle these things. So where do you think, from your point of view, watching this video, seeing how your mother is, seeing how you are, where do you think the connection should start in this for men to either have this or women to have this? Where do you see the connection being?
I say it's about the value, right?
The values.
Yeah.
Whose values though?
Matching values. So if I value a traditional lifestyle, like as a woman, then I want a man who also value the same thing. Because like I said, or like you said, and we both agree that we cannot change someone else's point of view or value. All right? So, and also like nowadays there's a lot of like female role model on
Like Cardi B.
Like Cardi B. I was just gonna say that. She said on her song, sorry, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me say that I got this ring.
We look at the guy she's with. He cheats on her how many times, and then she takes him back. What a great role model woman she is. But how many people idol worship her, you know? And the funny thing is, I can post a video and say bitch, right? Oh my God, you're misogynist. Oh my God, you're this and that. But she can say bitch 15 million times in her thingy. She's empowered. You understand where the disconnect is? And I understand why men are so upset with women, right? Because there is this disconnection between their wants and their desires, right? Women want a good man, but desire something completely different. They desire this empowerment, which isn't helping them, right? So you saw a good role model, Cardi B. She's a great role model for all the bad bitches out there, right? To be like, well, she's married. Look who she's married to. The guy
a man who is not loyal.
Not loyal.
Have babies everywhere.
He has like 10 feet, but then she is not exactly a quality woman herself. I wouldn't touch her. I wouldn't touch her with a pole that's on fire, right? Wouldn't touch her. Because she is nothing that I'm interested in. There's nothing that I like. So I understand my values, right? But as a woman yourself, you talk about values. This woman here, I don't know, again, we don't know if it's because she's Muslim or it's because her values. But I don't think so because you said your mom is like that. And you also like that. It's got nothing to do with religion, right? So from my understanding from this video, we talked about values. We talk about this all the time, is matching values. But it's not easy for people, sweetheart. I'm just being real honest with you. The guys I speak to, they just don't have the confidence, right, in themselves to go after a woman who understands these things. Because they, from what I've seen, they lack an awakened consciousness in their masculinity to be like, I want a woman that has these qualities versus I just want a bad bitch, right? I just want a pretty girl or makeup princess. I don't touch these women. I don't touch. That's why I have no drama. And I'm trying to show these guys they can still get an attractive woman. They can still get a beautiful woman. They can still get a woman with a good body, right? Good morals. But they have to understand that the values need to match what they want, right? But for a woman trying to find a man, there's not many men out there like that now because they're so confused and they've been battered so many down, beaten into submission now, right? Where now a man, most men, don't even know that they're men because they're so misgendered now. And it's a norm that people have this identity thing, he, her, he, her, she, they, penguins, all this other crazy shit that people now become. So the general consensus of man and woman is no longer even an argument anymore because the question nowadays is, what is a woman? We have to question that, right? So women have their own embattled problems because they are being infiltrated by men that now identify as women, and now it's a thing, right? So the question is, what's a woman? And the other question now is, what's a man? Because you have masculinity, alpha, high value. It's like the two things which were simple 50 years ago is now apparently
Shattered.
muddied. Yeah, muddied and shattered, absolutely. So where do we start? Where do we start to fix this? What's your suggestion?
So in terms of us finding a partner.
Because everyone just wants to be happy, right? This woman is clearly happy. Some women, if you read the comment section, yeah, they're like, oh, blink twice if you need help. Other women is like, oh my God, she must be so miserable, right? Oh my God, she, is unhappy. How could you want to cook for your man? What about your career? Modern women today, especially in Western countries, I should say, right? They have this idea that you talk about equality, okay? And for them, a lot of women fear this word equality, right? Gender pay gap, this is this, this is that. They want to be equal to men because they make them feel like they're equal. But you say women are not equal. Why are women not equal? They can do things men can do, can't they? So why can a woman not be equal to a man, from your opinion? As a fully empowered, feminine, in her own right, successful woman, right? Why can't women be equal? You said it quite a few times, but why? Why can't they be?
Okay. There's a place where woman can be in her masculine, but that's not in the house. All right, so we need to understand that we can also be successful. We can also do whatever we want. We can also do successful. We can also rule a successful business. We can also be whatever we want. I do not say that we cannot do that, like men, but we need to be in our feminine when we want him to lead us in his healthy, loving masculine way.
But most women, so this is my point. Most women don't see men as that anymore. Because most men are unable to be in their healthy masculine because they're told everything they do that used to be old school, traditional masculine is toxic. So if a man wants to lead the relationship, it's toxic, he's controlling, he's insecure. Here's an example, right? Is that woman has a male friend, right? Or a woman has guys in her DMs on Instagram. He's like, babe, that's not, she wants to go out every week with her friends to a club. And he's like, babe, you can't be doing this. Oh, you're insecure, right? Oh, you're insecure. A man should wear, some idiot girls be like, men should wear dresses. A man should wear makeup. How do you feel about that? A man wearing a dress. How do you feel if I wore a dress, darling? How do you feel? Because you got gay friends, and I don't want you to be sensitive to their feelings. It's not about their feelings here, all right? Because people need to toughen the hell up, okay? Fuck their feelings. Feelings are feelings. You don't change feelings, you change the facts. You don't change facts, sorry. Change how you feel about it, right? Facts are facts. People should learn to change their feelings, not try to change facts. It's like men and women. Facts. How you feel about it is not important. There's only two genders, men and women.
Yeah,
right?
that's
And that's a fact. But all of a sudden, there's a conversation, people are questioning this. And that's why most people are unable to ground themselves in their feminine energy and ground themselves in masculine energy.
because they're confused.
So when you have women trying to be with men are confused about what it means to be a man because now they have to be alpha to be a man or high value to be a man, when that is masking or marketed as two different words. Yeah? Dominant and rich. Nothing wrong with being dominant or rich. The problem is most men are not.
Yeah.
So women, the statistic is 80% of the women are going after 10% of the men. Right? 80% of women want 10% of the men. So that's 90% of men who will never attain the 10% status of being rich. So I think 10% is like earning over 100,000 or earning over 300,000, 500. I can't remember what it is, but earning over a good proportion of money, okay, and then having certain lifestyles, right? Most men don't have that, but they think to be a man they have to be high value or alpha, okay. So you have this confused bunch of men over here, or they think they have to have game because they've red pilled, whatever that nonsense is, right? So they feel they have to have game, they have to work out female nature, understand that women are out to get them, so therefore they need to do mental jujitsu to trick her, you know, and keep her moving and just use and abuse her because her body counts to all this stupid shit. So you have all these confused men. Then you have all these entitled, confused women. All these confused women trying to go in for 10% of these men who get it. Because the reason they're in the 10% because they get it. But most men who are rich have no personality. Most men who are rich are not the most loyal. Most men who are rich are not the most best partners to be with. Why?
Because they feel like they can get everything.
They have options. And when you have options with people who are just next, why would you want to commit? Look at the divorce rate, right? Marriage now is a thing of the past. A good stable home is a thing of the past. You know, how many people cheat on each other? Think of stability is a problem nowadays. You have all these women trying to go after all these men who, and you know, any man that's earning a lot of money, right? Maybe a small majority are not. But look at all these men who are super rich. Are they with the same women? Not necessarily, right? You look at people like Kevin Hart, super rich, cheating his wife. How many times he cheated on his wife? Right? She takes him back. Why did she take him back? If he was a broke guy, do you think she would take him back?
No.
You see my point?
Yes.
So women trying to find these men, they're not available. They're not there. Because they're not looking in the right place, because they're looking at these 10% of men. Right? Unless you're rich, well, mainly unless you're rich, most women won't even pay attention to you. Because they believe they should get the protection, the money, and the resources without bringing any of the values to the table. So where does it start, darling? You know, we can talk about a problem forever, but where's the solution?
The solution will be a woman or man. We should think about, number one, not what we want, but what we need. Number two is you gotta know what you value, and you gotta stop watching this crazy Instagram social media thing that leads you in the wrong path. If you keep putting those toxic things in your brain, you're gonna think like them. Like, for example, Kevin Samuels and stuff like that, you know?
You watched that video, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, it's very misleading. You know, it's very misleading. So I say, you gotta, like, because who can change us is ourselves. I can speak like this because I was that type of woman before.
I was that type of guy.
Yeah?
Fuckboy.
Fuckboy, ex-cheater.
Yep.
I was very feminist. I don't want to be submit. I was like very controlling and stuff like that.
Yep.
But we all learn from experience. And I want to change because I want to be happy and I want to have a better quality life.
Right.
Instead of looking for illusion that I think I want.
Right. Which was something completely else. Because we talked about, I don't fit your body type, I don't fit any of this stuff. Right? And vice versa. It's like you pick your values, not what you think you need. That's interesting, huh? All right, so look, I wanna wrap up this one, but I wanna show you this other video of this guy. I don't know if I'll see that I can find it. I'm gonna have to pause the video and come back. But yeah, I think I can't pause. I can put it together again. That's fine, I'll put it together again. But this video of this guy who works 13-hour shift, he comes home and his wife gives him a pizza. Cold pizza, and he's complaining like, I'm working 13 hours, you can't cook for me. And she's oh, you watch the video, it's terrible. Okay, so wrap this one up and then we move on to the next one, right? So we wrap it up. Okay, cool. So we're gonna